Mainville, Atkinson. I'm the mother of Cheyenne Fox. I live in Shagwenda First Nation, Manitoulin Island.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. So, I know this is hard for you, and I'm sorry that I have to bring you back to thinking about these things. But if you could just share with the family members who are watching this what that experience was like for you. Where were you when, how did you find out that Cheyenne had passed?
On the morning of April 26th, OPP came to my door and they asked me who I was, if I was Michelle Mainville. I said yes. And then they asked me if there was anybody else in the house. I said yes. And he goes, well, who's in here? Like, who's in the house? I said, my husband. And he goes, what's your husband's name? I said, Jim Atkinson. And he goes, well, can you go get him? So I asked my husband to come out because I thought that he was in trouble. And then he told me, he goes, and it's just something that I knew in my heart, but I didn't know what child of mine was gone. And then he said, I have to apologize, but Cheyenne passed away last night. I didn't want to believe it. I fell to the ground. My husband picked me up. I didn't want to believe it, so I asked. I asked that OPP officer to give me the number to Toronto. The division that found her. So I called because I didn't want to believe that she was gone. The officer that I spoke to, I asked him, I said, I'm Cheyenne's mother. I want to make sure make sure that it is Cheyenne. I said, how do you know it's Cheyenne? And he goes, well, they found her IDs on her. And I said, what happened? Because I still didn't want to believe it. And he said to me, he goes, do you know that she was a prostitute? And she was on drugs and she jumped. You know, I live that every day. And I told him, I said, you don't have to say it that way. I said, I'm her mom. And he said, well, it is what it is. I had to hang up. That officer, the OPP, decided, you know what? No, he was really good. He was really good to me. But he said, he goes, I'll phone the victim and family. Or what is it?
I think it's the Witness Victim
Yeah.
Assistance Program.
Yeah. He he called them. It was a male and a female, and they were Juggernaut. Oh, I'm trying to absorb what's happening, and I'm trying to call John, you know, like just to make sure that was her. He wasn't picking up his phone, 'cause I still didn't believe it. So anyways, these people came to my house, and I couldn't still, I was so lost. And that one woman, it was like she laughed, like she was laughing. Meanwhile, I was just all confused. And I looked at her, I said, why are you laughing? Don't you realize that? I said, I think I lost my daughter, because I still didn't believe it. I told those people to leave, because like I didn't need them there. I called my mom. I called my family and told them what happened. They didn't tell me. I didn't know anything that would happen, but John knew.
Is that her dad?
Yes. He went and found the answers. You know, like I have always been quiet about my daughter's death. But I know in my heart that she was murdered. My son, her brother told me, he goes, Mom, don't worry. He goes, don't worry, Mom. You just make sure that you take care of her up here, and her son. We'll do the rest. We'll fight for her. After, I put in a complaint about that police officer that said that to me. And when I talked to that Mr. Riviera, he promised me that he would give, that guy, that was last seen with her, a polygraph. And he said, once the toxicologies come back, we'll open up the case again. They didn't do nothing. They promised, but they didn't do nothing. And to this day, they still haven't done nothing. Like, what kind of fucking cruel people tell you that, parents, like, that they promise that they'll look into it. And they haven't. I just think, she was nothing to them. When that police officer told me that she was just a prostitute and on drugs, she was more than that. She was my everything. She was everything. She was like my mini me. She was like me. In your face, tough, crazy, and always laughing. She was like my mini me. I had her buried in her wake there at my place, in my apartment. I brought her home. I didn't want her in Wiki. I wanted her here where I am. I take care of her. I don't know. This is her. I don't know what more.
It's okay. What do you think you would have needed? What would have been better in terms of the police and the way they broke the news to you?
I think they should have brought an elder and brought an elder to break the news to me. It just seems so cold. Like, there's no feelings, but yet, when that OPP officer came to my place, like, he was kind and everything, but like, he didn't understand. I think that they need to be more culturally sensitive. I think that they need to bring an elder to tell a parent, that their loved one is gone. Like, it's bad enough, when I called Toronto about my daughter, and they just, it was so cruel. They don't understand. And when I heard that her father was not allowed to go, and where she passed away, when I heard that he wasn't allowed to go have a ceremony where, everything, it's just like, and they were going to charge him.
What were they going to charge him with?
Trespassing. They didn't want to tell him where she had fallen. And that's not right. Because, when our women pass away, they stay until they're brought home. But when her father wasn't allowed to, like, go where she fell, that's not right. It's not right. You know what? Like, I held I held a traditional ceremony for my daughter because, like, we're traditional people. I never baptized my baby. She was baptized in a sweat lodge. So, like, and she was buried. Traditionally. I don't know.
What gets you through? How do you get through every day?
I'm on happy pills. I had a breakdown. I went into deep depression. I had to medicate. Things like this always gets me going again. Like, it brings up all everything again. But when I see my grandson, Cheyenne's son, I know that, you know what? When I see him, I have a part of her.
That's beautiful. What would your advice be to someone who's going through this?
I think that they need to start sharing their story and just share. Because, like, I have this one friend that she just went at me and she pushed me out there. Yeah, you know what? Uh, for those mothers and even the fathers, you know what? It's gonna hurt as long as of all the years that they're on this earth. That's how long you're gonna hurt. Eventually, eventually you'll be able to smile. And live again. Eventually.